Time for an ad, time to pay the bills. Jacob, it is one of the best places and only places that you can go to support local Texas State athletes, your favorite athletes. It's Elite Sports. They have good NIL deals with some of your athletes that you support every Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday in some cases. So go support them. Jacob, what are some of the athletes that they have over there for us?
Well, they just signed Malik Hornsby, so stay tuned for that. But you go to elitesports.com, they have a whole collection of Texas State athletes you can get behind. That's Ben McClain. That's Michael Budin. That's Austin Smith, Xavier Pettis, Mason Harrell. The list goes on and on, honestly. They just recently signed, as I was saying before, Malik Hornsby. So get ready for all those gear drops. It's just an exclusive look. It's a way to give back to the Texas State community, give back to the student athletes directly. elitesports.com, use code SQUARE at checkout.
Tired of winning the tailgate but losing the games? We can't help that. But we can tell you what the hell is up with each team and what's going on across sunny San Marcos. Texas State fans, get on your feet. You're listening to Squaring Around with Jakob Rodriguez and Andrew Zimmel.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Squaring Around. I'm Jakob Rodriguez, joined as always by Andrew Zimmel. Zimmel, I think we were super lucky to have gotten kind of two different perspectives. One at the beginning of the season with Coach Woodard about the softball team, and then now one at the end with star pitcher Jessica Mullins on a lot of things, including country music, but mostly on the NCAA tournament coming up.
Local legend, Molly. I love it. She was, we talked about it with her. She's one of those athletes that, like, I wanted to talk to. Pandemic kind of prevented us from getting her to now talk to her in her junior year when she is, like, peaking at her absolute prime coming into the tournament. Perfect time to get her. Love talking to her. And one of the more fun Texas State athletes, I think, to talk to.
Shout out to SID for softball, Megan Webb, who set this up. I asked, it was pretty short notice because it was on Tuesday. We found out Selection Sunday they were in. And I was like, oh, shit, we already have our week planned. So I need to kind of roll the ball on this. But Megan got back to me after they had media day. So I'll be inserting some of those bites too, just on, what Coach Woodard thought. Also Sarah Vanderford, another senior that's been kind of holding things down for the team. And yeah, they play A&M on Friday. And we got to talk to Jessica before them. So
here's the interview, baby.
Let's go.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Squaring Around. This is Square Talks, where we talk to all the hip-hop happening people at Texas State Athletics. Super pleased to be joined by one of the best pitchers in the country for softball, Jessica Mullins, our everything at Texas State. Jessica, you guys start play for the NCAA tournament on Friday. We were talking about it a little bit off air, but, what does this week look like for you guys? And what are you guys doing just to, get ready for it?
We started practice on Monday. Coach Woodard, as soon as we got done with the selection show, she said, all right, practice 10 a.m. You got to get back to work. And so we've been focusing a lot on our bats and pitchers just doing their own thing and just keeping it pretty light in general, just because we know it's going to be a pretty big weekend for us. But I feel like we've been prepared enough, and we leave tomorrow at 2. Getting ready.
All right, I got a lot of questions, Jacob. First question, Jess. It's been an up and down season. What do you attribute that to?
We're a pretty young team. We were still trying to figure out how things were going and how we all click as individuals and as a team. And so I feel like the ups and downs just kind of they come with us being a young team. And I feel like towards the end of season, we've just kind of, click together a little bit better, and now I'm really excited to see what type of damage we can do.
What was that selection show like for you guys, where you kind of don't know where it's gonna fall, if it's gonna fall? What was that like?
I feel like we were on the edge of our seat. We knew we had a shot, but I don't think anyone was for sure what was going to happen. But once we heard our name and we saw what type of regional we were in, we know we can win it. We just got to make sure we stay focused and put all of our talents on the table.
Was that the most anxious you've been since coming to Texas State for like a selection show?
Absolutely. I was on the edge of my seat literally the entire time, just praying and praying. And then once we heard our name and everybody just got up and started screaming. I hugged Megan Kellner and I was like, "You're joking." And I just got pumped after that. I was shaking. I was shaking so bad.
It's a tough section, man. Like, you got some pretty damn good teams that you're going to be facing.
Yeah, but I mean, we faced them before. We've beat them before, and I mean, I feel like we're that type of caliber team that can take anybody on. And even if we were playing against Oklahoma, we could still think that we're going to beat them. And so we'll just see. We just got to make sure we play our game and trust the process.
Played A&M earlier in the year. You didn't pitch in that one. As a pitcher, when you were watching that game, what was like kind of the takeaway?
I mean that we could have done things a little differently, and I wasn't on my game at that point, so I understand why I didn't pitch. But Coach Josh Trevino, he was saying, everything works out for a reason. And I mean, I was sick in the fall whenever we also played them, so I guess like they haven't really seen my best stuff yet, and I've gotten better since last year whenever we faced them. So I guess it's just kind of sneaky.
So you're feeling pretty good coming into this one.
Oh yeah, I'm feeling very good.
So, we are later in the season. Do you feel better than you did when the season started? I guess clearly, because you are like 100% right now. Would you say you're 100%?
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel like I was working some things through just pitching wise and adding new pitches into my artillery, and I feel like I've kind of perfected a lot of my stuff. And so I feel like personally I'm gonna do as much as I can to make sure, I help out the team as much as possible.
It's a pretty good one right there, Jakob. The best pitcher in the country is saying that she's 110%. I feel pretty good. I feel a lot more confident now.
I like how you just grilled her for like, what was that, 5-6 minutes? It felt like an eternity.
Hey man, here's the thing. It's not a grilling. It's fun. We're having fun. It's good questions too. You know what I mean? What do you want?
We were like this close from being like an old school detective with a headlamp, like right in her face. Like, give me the answers, Jessica. She's on our side, buddy. What side are you on?
Hey man, look, we're coming into tournament play, and I've been burned a couple times now by different coaches telling me that things were going to go really good, and I'm just I've been hurt too many times before, Jakob.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's something you got to put money on right there.
Well, that's another thing. We were talking about this before we started. I'm sure you're going to get the ball first. That I would put everything I own on it. Maybe I'll be broke. But I think if I had to bet a euro, I'd bet a euro. If I had to bet a yen, I'd bet a yen. Any standard of currency, I would bet that you're playing on Friday, leading off things. I don't want to dwell too much on the Sun Belt Conference tournament. What are some like the games that you saw there, or maybe like earlier in the season that you were like, everything's clicking. This is like what we need to tap into like later in the season to make a run.
I mean, of course, like we didn't want to lose out against ULL, but we put up a good fight. I mean, whenever you have that many hits on the board and like you're gonna win some ball games, and we just didn't. We had the right mentality going in, and we fought our whole way through, but things just didn't work out in our favor, and we just gotta keep working through that. But I mean, I feel like the game against Troy put us in a really good spot. The bats were working, and even against ULL, the bats were working there. So we just gotta keep working through that and keep making sure that those are there. So, and on top of that, like pitchers are getting better, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
You talked about this being a young team. Now you're in your third year. You and Sarah Vanderford, the other like upperclassmen have kind of been shouldering this load. What have you been telling like the next gen? That's coming up. Like, what to expect either for Friday or like just as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, well, my freshman year we went to regionals, and it was a pretty, how do I say it? It was a weird thing for me because I've never been there. I've never been in that spot, and I didn't really know what to expect. But like even Megan Kellner, our catcher, she was kind of asking me a bunch of questions about like what to expect, how does this work, and kind of unfamiliar territory, and it could be scary for a freshman. And I mean, I'm sure Sarah's saying the same thing to the younger girls. Just make sure you just keep taking it day by day and trust in the process. Like we've prepared all year up until this point, and you just gotta let your hard work show forth.
Awesome. Zim, what do you got?
Well, it's just, I was going to ask about being a leader on the team, but it sounds like you've been a leader since day one, man. Like if people are asking you as a freshman, hey, what's this experience going to be like? And you're like, I don't know. You tell me. Like, it sounds like you have done a good job being a leader the entire time. And, you're coaching too. You're doing the teaching clinics and stuff like that. I was going to talk to you about that. Now, you put that post out there before we had the selection show, and I was very nervous. I was like, does this mean the season's over? Like, where do we go from here?
Smart
So
advertising.
my plan was to start doing lessons, give myself a week after after we got done with season. And I just felt like it was time to go ahead and post that and say, hey, like I have time for lessons if y'all want to sign up. And I already have a bunch of people wanting to do lessons with me. And I just wanted more clients, I guess. But I had told them, I said, I kept saying, I said, if we make it into regionals, I'm pushing it back. And then it's just going to be week by week from there, because if we make it into supers, I'm pushing it back. Women's College World Series, pushing it back. So they're knowledgeable of it, and they're pretty patient with me. So,
well, first off, congratulations. And it would make all the sense in the world for anybody to want to learn from you. That's like the first thing I want to say. Second thing is, you gave me a heart attack, because I saw that and I was like, oh, does that mean we're done? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just didn't, you don't know. And, I figure you would know better than we would. But I'm glad we're all on the same page, not knowing anything until Selection Sunday. That makes me feel better that I wasn't out of the
loop. Sorry about that. But no, I kind of knew in the back of my head that like we weren't going to be done. And, I still had that hope. And I'm sure everyone else on the team had the hope too. I just, it's better to be early than late. So
no, you know what? You are one of the, I think, better athletes when it comes to using the NIL and just using like all of the different, ways that you can kind of, I don't know, capitalize on your success on the field. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. And I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're doing it the right way. What's your major?
I'm pre-nursing, actually.
Okay. I was wondering if it was business.
Tori McCann's business, Sarah Vandeford's business. A few other people are business, but I chose the hard route, unfortunately.
That sounds brutal. Oh my gosh.
It is. I mean, it's crazy because there's some classes that are at 7:30 in the morning. So I had to wake up the past 2 semesters every Tuesday and Thursday to get to class by 7:30. And it's pretty brutal whenever you have practice and then you have homework and you're not in bed until late. So it's been a grind. It really has.
I want to ask you that question because I was in class with Brady McBride when he was the quarterback at Texas State, and Texas State students have a pretty good reputation of not caring about anything when it comes to just like celebrities like that. So does anybody ever recognize you? Is there anybody ever in class that's like, hey, I saw you pitch the other night? Is there ever been any interaction like that?
I mean, honestly, whenever I go to class and I go to my labs and stuff, I try not to say like, hey, yeah, I play softball for the university, because I want people to know me for me and not, the star pitcher of the softball team or whatever y'all say. But I want them to know me for Jessica and not necessarily Mully, because, there's a uniqueness about me as a person, and I'm confident as it is. And I just want people to know me and not just think I'm some stupid jock that doesn't really know what they're doing. So
I'll tell you, sitting behind Brady, he brought a lot of personality to that pop culture studies class.
Pop culture studies. I think you compare pop culture studies to, what is it, pre-nursing? It's kind of a different world.
I don't know. Those quizzes were hard, man.
Hey, it's pre-nursing. It's had me question my career a couple of times, but I'm pretty passionate about it. I'm passionate about helping people. So
is that what you want to do, or what are you looking towards?
I mean, throughout my select ball career, we traveled a lot. Like we went all over the U.S. and to Florida, California. We actually did a 5-week trip, me and my dad. And we went up into Canada, and we actually played in New Jersey. Like we so much traveling. So I'm wanting to do travel nursing at some point. And I was going to get a job this summer, but I decided to just take my last summer to chill out and actually enjoy being a college student. So. But yeah.
Makes sense to me. Especially, I would give everything and anything to get you back in San Marcos. So I don't blame you if you get to like spend a little bit more time around that area.
I mean, it's a beautiful place. I love San Marcos. That's that's one of the things that drew me to the school is I love the hill country. I'm a country girl at heart, so anywhere that's not flatland and it's somewhat woodsy, I'm there for it.
Don't travel near us in North Dakota. That's all I'm going to tell you.
That's where Zimmel is right now.
Noted.
There's nothing.
It's not the best.
I'm gonna focus on staying south.
I don't blame you. In fact, I encourage everyone who listens to the podcast to stay as far south of Kansas as you possibly can. It's Pacific Northwest, check it out. East Coast, check it out. Midwest, man, not a lot going on up here. We just got Nirvana, so that's kind of cool. People are just now, figuring out about Led Zeppelin. So, it's all good. Culture slowly seeps over here.
I wouldn't trust your opinion on music because you're the guy that doesn't like live music.
Well, let's ask you that. Yeah, so let me ask you. I'm not a big concert going guy. I like music. I'm not a concert goer. Are you a big concert person?
You're kidding. I love concerts, mainly like country concerts. I love going to Whitewater and Green. And even if it's a band I don't know, like me and my dad, we made a trip up to Lukenbach next to Fredericksburg. And there was a little live band. I mean, they were just, I don't even know if they were local or not. And I just love being able to chill and like listen to live music, even if I don't know the songs. Like that's just, I don't know. I just love it.
I get it. No, and I was explaining to Jacob, I understand that. But like the Taylor Swift tour, no, I'm all good. You know what I mean? Like the concert tours, I'm solid on. Coachella, ACL, don't really need it.
Well, I do. Like, I don't like the bigger concerts. Like I like the small band concerts. Those are the best whenever you're not shoulder to shoulder with people sweating your butt off,
I like it when people aren't screaming the lyrics back at the artist. Like that's what ruined it for me, was going to these events. And it's like, I'm paying money to see this person sing, and I'm sitting next to, little Susie Luhu, who's deciding to belt out every word. Like, I don't want to hear that. And I'd rather just sit in my car and listen to it versus, going to the concert.
Man, you're a bummer. You just got to let them live.
You are a bummer, Zimmel.
Hate to see it. Yeah. Hate to see it. I'll say, like, people were complaining during the pandemic. They were like, oh, I miss like concerts and live sports. And I was like, I halfway agree with you. I halfway get it. But, tough stuff. Hate to see it.
So what's in your playlist? Like what new country or old country are you listening to hype yourself up?
I don't know. I listen to a lot of like different music. I mean, sometimes it's not even country that I listen to hype myself up. I've been on a Nickelback era.
Whoa. Ooh. All right.
Like lately, yes. I've been listening to Nickelback to hype myself up, and I'll just be on the bus with my AirPods in, and I'm just looking out the window listening to Nickelback. Like, yeah, this is about to go down.
Look at this photograph.
No, not that song. I hate that song.
Wow, I was gonna say, what Nickelback song? You gotta give it to us now.
I really like Hollywood by him. It's one of his older albums. I don't really know if I should say what Nickelback songs because a lot of them are very inappropriate, but
that's fine. Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, that's
if nobody knows Nickelback, y'all go check them out, but just don't show your kids.
If y'all don't know Nickelback, wow, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that don't know Nickelback.
The generation gap here, it's a tough one.
Yeah. Generation gap.
Hey,
you sound. Do you know how much like of an old fart you sound like? I hate live music. I don't love it like
it. You'll sound like y'all are 50. I'm not even gonna lie.
Hate to see it.
Funny. No, it just creeps me out that Zimmel doesn't like live music. I don't trust anybody that listens to live music, and I have to trust this guy with half of my career.
I'm sorry, the concerts just are not for me. Now, like, you talk about Lukenbach and stuff like that. Like, I'll go to a small Cheatham Street in San Marcos. That was a good spot.
I love Cheatham Street.
Those are good places to like see live music. I'm down with that. I'd go to that. But like, if you said to me, let's get tickets to the Moody Center, it's just like, that's not for me.
No, that's not for me either. Honestly, I like the rodeo just because, like the Houston rodeo, just because it was country and I knew like every word of every song because they play a lot of popular music. But yeah, that's about as big of a venue I'm gonna go to.
So it seems like we're on the same page. Jacob's just trying to put a wedge between us. I get it. I understand.
I'm trying to reform you, I think, slowly but surely, with people with better opinions than you, and then just over time get that domino to fall.
I kind of get it though. You need that type of, you got to go to a place that it's the type of music you like too. So even if people do scream the words, then you're not going to feel bad about it.
I don't know. I've been spoiled now too, living in the press box. I don't have to sit next to like fans that are like smell like cheese curds. Like, it's tough. I'm becoming an elitist, I think. That's what it's coming down to.
We're just old.
The old guys
Yeah.
in the puppets, yeah. Well, Jessica, you're rocking a 1.94 ERA for the season right now. We talked about having a young team. I talked about some of the ups and downs. What's led to some of that consistency, though, for you, always just on the mound?
I mean, consistency overall, I feel like is driven by like wanting the ball. And ever since my freshman year, I've just always wanted the ball. I wanted to be on the mound. I wanted to be put in those pressure situations, and I feel like that goes with anyone that's in the lineup. And if they're consistently in the lineup, they're wanting the ball. And same with Sarah. Like she's always wanting to be in those situations. And whenever you thrive in those situations, that's whenever you become successful.
I'm good. The last thing, we can wrap up, but I wanted to ask like Zach Bryan or insert country artist, because Zach Bryan's my guy right now. So I wanted to know if is that a good opinion, or is that an old guy opinion too?
No, I like Zach Bryan. Zach Bryan, Colby Cooper, Pecos and the Rooftops, like Treaty Oak Revival, different artists like that. Like
All right.
Turn
I
back.
like smaller towns. I like smaller artists, but I mean Zach Bryan's he's good. I like him.
All right, there we go. Go out on a win. That's all I need. It's same for you. Go out on a win. Let's get.
Hey, do you like this insanely popular country music artist?
I take great pride. I take great pride in that I found him before the rest of people found him. That's one of the only country artists that I was like, put my flag in now, and worked out good for me.
Well, how long have you been?
Where did you find him?
DJ?
Where did I find him? On YouTube. I was on one of those like folk country playlists. Like I think like in what? It had to be before the pandemic. That I heard one of his songs. It was Heading South was the one that I listened to so much that I got that like Spotify 1% notification, which is, shout out to them. That's when I was like, all right, I'm in. I'm all the way in.
I have some.
I take great pride in saying I put my flag in him early.
I have some slight beef with Zach Bryan. Pause, Zimmel. I got you on the last one. But I have some slight beef with Zach Bryan because I went to a Willie Nelson and Friends show, and Zach Bryan was opening up. It was a great concert. Didn't know any Zach Bryan. Had no clue who he was. He's super jamming, fun times, but you have no service out at Whitewater, so it's not like I can't really Google lyrics or anything, And then,
wait, you're that type of person that Googles lyrics wow.
Like, I gotta see what's up,
Okay.
It's all about the lyricism for me. And then like I'll be honest, when Morgan Wallen had 43 writers or whatever on his last album, I was a little like, this is a little bit watered down.
Just
a little
uncultured, maybe.
Okay.
Big Morgan Wallen fan, Jessica Mullen. All right.
Well, I've strayed away from Morgan Wallen. I like Zach Bryan.
Started leaving, and they didn't stay for Willie. So I got great standing room to go see Willie, thanks to a bunch of like teenagers basically leaving after.
You're kidding. Nobody wanted to see Willie.
Not really, no.
I would see
Willie. I was
Willie
way in the back to see Zach Bryan, and then got to move all the way to the front to see Willie.
Props to you. Look at you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would see Willie over Bryan anyway. Willie over Zach Bryan anyway. So I'm on that.
That's a layup.
Yeah.
Layup. Yeah, that makes sense.
Cool. Well, Jessica, good luck on Friday. Good luck in the future, because the Cats ain't done yet. That's what we learned on Selection Sunday.
Cats getting hot.
Cats are getting hot. So we can't wait to see what y'all do on Friday and the rest of the week, 2 weeks. See what's up. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, in case you weren't a softball fan, I know you're all country music fans. because
No kidding, man. So I do like that you threw me under the bus a couple times with the concert going. I think Jessica doesn't know if I'm 25 or 55, so that worked out good for us. I know my moisturizing.
It felt like you guys were really against me. I was like, how did I become the enemy here?
I have a couple of ideas why. It worked out good. I enjoyed talking to Jessica. She's one of my favorite athletes to talk to so far this season, and I think that was one of the better podcast episodes we did. So if you enjoyed it, please remember you can like, share, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you get the podcast and help spread the good word of Texas State sports.
And if you're trying to throw the ball as good as Mully does, check out her softball account, man. So check her out on Twitter.
100%. 100%. If you have a daughter that wants to get into softball and you have a chance in the San Marcos area and you have a chance to get taught by one of the best softball pitchers in the country, I don't know why you would not take that opportunity.
I think she's calling it hashtag Mullin with Mully.
Not a terrible hashtag. Take back Texas grew on me, so maybe this will too.
Thanks for listening. New episodes out every Thursday. Follow the boys on Twitter. Eat 'em up. Eat 'em up.